The history of the famous port wine. Originating in the city of Oporto, Portugal, port wine is characterized by its fermentation process, being added a brandy wine, making it natural sweet and stronger than the other wines. This technique was idealized by the English and Portuguese, who in search of a solution so that the wine did not sour during its transport in the caravels. There are several types of wine, from the white, produced exclusively with white grapes, aging in oak barrels for 2 or 3 years. The ruby, the name and due to its color being made with red grapes, it stays between 2 to 3 years in the balseos, having a red fruit flavor. Inside these, there is the LBV, late bottle vintage, ruby wines, of a single harvest passing through a period of 4 to 6 years in wooden sails, having an intense coloration. The process and the same of the category ruby, but the difference that later and placed in kites, extending the contact with the wood and oxygen, making it its closest color of the amber, having the flavor of nuts. Within the category tawny, there is also the tawny harvest of an exceptional year, which stays in the minimum 7 years in the kites. That number may be in the tens of years. Its colors is light brown and very soft and delicate. There is also the aged tawny, having the reputation of being one of the most expensive wines of the market. Oak from the period of 10, 20, 30 and 40 years, making it more liquefying and clear. Finally, vintage is considered a precious jewel, since it is produced in very unusual and excellent years, selecting the best grapes that remain in the wooden rafts for 2 years, going through the bottling period in places with poor lighting. Just from the brand born in 1678, the history of this renowned wine, initially titled Portugal Inc., was created by the Ingleses living in Portugal, who after the Treaty of Windsor in 1386, in the name of Dom João I of Portugal and Felipe de Lencastre of England, celebrated between the two countries, managed to export the wine to England, often in exchange for the famous cards. This wine was produced in the region of Vinho in the 4th century, mainly in the regions of Melgaço and Monção, where commerce was the coastal city of Viana do Castelo, where Ponte de Lima was a natural safe port. Over time, the English consumer appreciated less and less the wine produced in that region due to its climatic conditions, having changed the production to the hot area of the interior of Serra do Marão, where it is still up to the present day. With this change, in 1678, the wines were transported by the Rio Douro to the city of Oporto to be exported to England, and the wine adopted the name of this city, Vinho do Porto. Initially, it had a rapid growth in exports. However, in 1750, there was a sharp fall in demand due to some fraudulent practices and expectations of trade. To combat these facts, in 1756, Sebastião José de Carvalho and de Melo, known by Marquês de Pombal, established the geographical boundaries of the port wine vineyards by classifying them according to quality, establishing orders in the productions of wine. With this decision, the production and export began to increase, having the number of boats increased by about 50 to several hundred. Rebelos were also built typical boats of the Douro River with greater capacity. One of the largest carried between 70 and 100 kites of wine. At the beginning of the 17th century, exports continued to grow, increasing the number of remittances to the Brazilian market, the consumption of Vinho do Porto expanding to other countries such as Russia, Germany, Holland, Scandinavia, and the United States of America. In the year 2000, the Asian and Latin American market began to awaken to the pleasures of wine of Oporto, increasing the number of exports. At the moment, France is the country with greater number of market, with around 30% of the following sales of the Netherlands and Belgium consumes it in turn in Portugal, and of 13% being the rest of the quota, distributed by about 25 countries, making Vinho do Porto one of the best and well-recognized and respected wines worldwide.